G'day, g'day, and welcome to Diecast Salvage in Gravesend, Australia. Today I hope to do some justice to today's casting, which is a Corgi Toys Jaguar 2.4 litre. As you're watching this casting go around on the turntable, I would like to thank the friends of the channel. Of course, these are the friends which keep coming back. If you're a first-time viewer, welcome. And I hope you become one of our friends as well. I hope you stay and share what sometimes a bumbling old fart like me gets up to, trying to give old diecast toys a new life. So, now let's take a closer look at today's offering. Alright, so here we are without the turntable at my little work area. And around the back it needs a big tidy up. I'll get there soon. I've still got a mess. I'm so I'm getting myself other stuff because I've made such a mess that I need to clean up. But you get to see what we're working with. Get rid of that. So, what are we working with? We're working with a Corgi Toys Jaguar 2.4 litre. Patent application number, made in Great Britain. It still has 2 of its booties, but has all 4 of its hubs. It's been, I don't know whether it's paint or marker. No, it's paint. It's been overpainted, a little bit on the screen. The screen is in fairly good order. It does have a mark on the windscreen. We'll try and get it out, but it might be a crack from when they press the windscreen in. And the original colour is a yellowy colour. I haven't decided as to what colour we're doing it yet because I haven't fired up the Google machine to look at Google images. It does have suspension in there. So, as you can see, fairly good order. So, hopefully Martin Dare likes the results as to what I do with this. All right, next sequence, disassembly. Okay, disassembly time. What I've done is use the burr tool on the end of my rotary tool and just take off the mushroom heads of the 3 posts. Once we do that, we can then lift up, and there is our base. Does have the suspension in there. Okay, our interior is vacuum formed. And I've already brought the glass out anyway, because I've had this apart already. So, vacuum formed, needs a good wash. The window unit is held in via a post. Again, using my burr tool, I've just taken the post head off, and we've got the screen out. Now these, if they're not, like this one wasn't perfectly in the centre when it was punched in, so right from the start it had a crack all the way down to there, and also brought a crack from there to the front, as you can see there, which is quite common in these Corgis from the 60s. And we'll buff this out as much as we can. We will put this in some detail to get rid of whatever paint is on there. Because if we go with the screwdriver, we will scratch it, and we want to keep it as good as possible. But we do have other methods should this not work out properly, in that we can use our clear hard resin after we make a mould, or we could again still make a mould and vacuum form a screen, or make a mould and use 2-part clear epoxy resin. So there's various things on hand that we can use, but we'll try and keep that screen as much as possible. We'll clean and put that away, and that leaves us our casting. So I have been on the Google machine on its images, and we shall use one of its inspirations to, let's see how we go with one of the inspiration photos. We'll catch you in a moment while I go and play with this with some strippers. See you in a moment. Almost forgot to do some recording, and no, we don't have a naked vehicle on here. I have decided to do a wheel swap on this, and to save destroying the springs, we have a gear puller that we can use, and this one does fit in. Just need to find a suitable place to get in. We need to center our device. Let me just check that I have got it centered. Not quite. Bear with me, bear with me. All right, there we go. We have got it centered, and then it's just a matter of just a couple of turns. It will pull the hub out, and the reason why it's easier to use this, as soon as we get it off there we go there, because when we look at the end of our axle, it has a burr on it, or splines, you could say, to hold the hub in place. And that's the outside. That's the dirty part. That's on the inside. Now I still have it. And we shall put them in our spare parts bin when I get it out. So anyway, I'm off to see some strippers. We shall see you in a moment. Well, I'm back from the strippers, and if you don't want to see nudity, you best look away now and listen to the description. So here it comes. There we go. We have our base, which I've polished up. I am going to leave it as a bare metal, in other words, naked. And here is our casting. We now do sandblasting, which we have done for about 12 months now, because the caustic soda I can't use as we're on a septic system. Now, 99.98% of the paint has come off. So the casting seems to be in good order. We do have a couple of casting lines to remove. And that is right there. And the same on the other side. This one is more pronounced from there. So, and that is all just using a mini file. Because I'm looking through this through the screen, so I'll go over the top of you and just going over that area. As you can see, it's just taking a little bit off, letting the file do the work. And by file, you should only go in one direction. That's how the teeth are. That's what I was told in my woodwork and metalwork lesson during high school 50 odd years ago. Amazing what you remember from 50 years ago. Now we'll work a little bit more on that side. Yeah, they're the only two casting lines that we have. So that's what I'll do off camera, get rid of those. The other thing that I'll do off camera, well, I shouldn't say off camera, but this is also the time where we'll get the brass bristle brush and we'll go over our casting to take the whatever paint is remaining on there. So that we go from this being dull to a shiny, and we'll also use this steel scourer as we work our way around the vehicle. That was the original colour inside. So it's not going that colour. It's yeah, I do have some in mind. As I said earlier, I have fired up the Google machine to get some images for inspiration. All right, I'm going to get back to the filing and the rest of this, and then wash it down with some IPA and methylated spirits to clean up. So the next time we'll see this, we'll do the screen and the interior next, that you will see. All right, catch you in a moment. Okay, let's see if we can get this window unit done. And before I put it into the self-shining floor polish, we need to do a bit of work on our screen. This side I've already done, so I still have the front part to do, this side window to do, and the rear window. We're going to try this side next, which I'll do in front of you. And I'm using a 7-step emery board. And step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, and step 7. So the easiest way to do it for me is we start off with step 1, might help. That's step 4, there we go, there's step 1 there. There are various ways that you can do this. You could use 2000 grit wet and dry. Or you start 1500 and work your way up to 3000. You can use Brasso. Many ways of doing it. But this should do for what we're doing today. These are cheap enough in the ladies section of your supermarket or chemist or drugstore, depending on where you are in the world. You never know, you might have a good girlfriend or a wife or both that has one of these that you can use. So we'll just give it a break because this heats up. As you can see, it's very scuffed up there at the moment, which is what we're wanting. That's using step 1 and 2. We need to move over to step 3. I'm not putting a great deal of pressure on this, I'm just letting the emery board do its work. As you can see, we're leaving some shine there. We're looking for step 4. So take note how that is now. As you can see, that's cleared up a lot now from step 3 to step 4. Just let that cool for a moment. As we move over to step 5. It's a little bit more labour intensive than using the polish and the wool tool. That's not as messy. As you can see, that's come a lot clearer now. We move over to step 6, which is the buffing. So we're into this for just on 5 minutes. And we move on to step 7, which is the last place on here. Give it a nice good rub. Rub-a-dub-dub. And you can finish off the rest of the song however you want. Needs a little bit more work, but it's a lot better than what we had when we started off with. So I'll finish the rest of this off camera. And what we're going to have next? What are we going to have next, Michael? You'll have to stick around and find out. This is just a reminder as to what I started with at the beginning of today's episode. And here we are now. Here we are with our Corgi Toys Jaguar 2.4 litre. What have we done with it? If you didn't watch, I'll explain it to you. We've stripped it, we've repainted it, and the colour we've used is what some people might call candy red, but it's actually a Dulux metal cast red, right, on bare metal. Well, I should say, sort of bare metal casting. We have done a wheel swap on it from a cheap Chinese brand toy. We've cleaned the interior. We've cleaned and polished our windscreen. We are a roller. We have detailed the front indicators and also the tail lights. The front and rear bumpers is the casting itself, just polished up. So, as Marty from Marty's Matchbox Makeover would say, I'm happy with that. I hope Mutton Dare's happy with that. And I hope you are too. So, I hope to see you soon at Diecast Salvage in Gravesend, Australia.